Welcome to Driving Immersion. This is the immersive racing experience. Studio 397's Le Mans Ultimate is the best detailed simulation of the World Endurance Championship. We're racing in Le Mans Ultimate using as much of its simulation factors to be as close to endurance racing as possible. We drive from the cockpit using a Fanatec CSL DD Plus wheel and load cell pedal set, without any assist except for what exists in the car. There are collisions and damage, tire wear and fuel use, including virtual energy. Give us a like and click on subscribe now so that you don't miss out on any of it. Volume up and let's go. We rejoined the race in the second stint of the 6-hour race at Imola. Again, our chosen car for this race is the Lexus RCF.
So we are back here in the pits. You can see we have 38 seconds of virtual energy. We are not changing the tires. Oh, we do have a broken suspension.
Yes, there is a broken suspension as indicated there on the HUD on the lower right of your screen. However, in this pit stop, we were not given the option to make any repairs. And so right now we are just fueling. And there we are again with the HUD on the lower right. The yellow chevron on the front left of the vehicle indicates damage to the suspension. And right now we also have damage to the front and rear bumpers as a result of previous laps here in the rain. And if you are just joining the race, we do expect rain for most of the race here at Imola.
A little bit of a slip on the way in.
A lot of puddles on the track. Again, not much effect on the car's drivability when you drive through them. It's very possible that they may not be very deep puddles. However, they do exist along the track. So again, we rejoined the race here in the second stint. We are now in 9th place. And that is behind the number 31 BMW and 59 McLaren. We are about 45 seconds away at this point to number 8 and number 7.
Car's behaving nicely. Here is our tire situation. Still a lot of life left in these wet tires. Over the curves.
In and through the chicane of turns 14 and 15.
A lot of trail braking into that double left.
Lap 3:03.08.
Out of turn 4, Tamburella. And this is turn 5 here to the left. And a very quick flick to the right into turn 6.
Enough brake, and we are in the gravel.
Again, a lot of water on the track. And there are puddles on the left and right as we come in through turn 7. A little bit of an incline here through turn 8. Turn left into turn 9, and we are going to go downhill through turn 10. A sweeping left-hander.
Losing the back end.
Facing the wrong way. And there we are, corrected through turn 10. Turn 11 on the curb, and that is going to throw us around. got an Aston Martin hypercar turned around in 14 and 15. So from the last spin, we have again a damaged suspension, and we just came in for a refuel, so we are not going to come in to make any repairs, and right now we are just trying to deal with the car just the way that it is. The steering wheel is just a little bit kinked, I believe, to the left, and hopefully we'll get a look at that next time we are in the cockpit here of the number 87. And you can see there on the number plate to the side, we are now in 7th place. Must have passed a couple of cars in the pits. And obviously that was not a fast enough lap to pass anybody. And I believe that is 3 and 4 just behind us, or maybe 2 and 3, the Ferrari and the Corvette. Quick look at the leaderboard. You can see there that the other Lexus, the number 78, is in 1st place. The virtual energy readings that you see there are not live. That is 12 and 13, a little bit uphill.
I've got to come in. There's not enough braking in the front. I don't know if it's due to that damage.
So we are experiencing a little bit of trouble here with the number 87. We are calling into the pits to come in, and there we are. We just made adjustments to the HUD to indicate repair everything that may be broken, or repair all. And we can do that while we're driving, or we can do that once we arrive at the stop in the pits. Here we are at the entry on the speed limiter. Speed limit is 37 miles an hour, or 60 kilometers per hour.
Fast.
Now we don't have to refuel whatsoever, but we do have to make that repair. And again, don't know why it didn't appear on the menu last time we were into the pits. Obviously that wastes a lot of time.
24.28.
There we are, in for repairs.
So a full 90-second stop here.
And this is going to be a longer stop. Again, as we are making repairs, no need to refuel or change the tires. But it looks like they are going to put in 6 seconds of fuel. Again, that'll only help us later on, but we are in here for a very long pit stop. There is the Mustang just taking off. Cadillac. And we just got to see one of the McLarens pulling in just behind us.
I believe that car behind us, the McLaren, is in 9th place, right behind us. So the field here is very scattered because 10th place is up ahead.
Yes, the field is very scattered because of the weather conditions.
Very long time here to fix the repairs.
And again, no matter how fast your car is, you must handle the currently wet track.
The car was doing well on the tires.
There is the number 50 Ferrari hypercar coming out of the
McLaren's
pits.
still back there. 5 seconds left.
A Porsche and an Aston Martin crossing the start-finish line on track. And here we are, back on.
So we did beat him out of the pits.
And we exit out. And that is exactly how long that pit stop took. The cars behind us are the cars that were behind us just before we came into the pits, so we are maybe we're a lap down. I don't believe that we are on the current lap. Unfortunately, the leaderboard does not indicate that. It only indicates how far we are from the car ahead and behind us on the track. A lot of bumping going on in the background there between the Toyota and one of the Ferraris. This Toyota behind us has the red livery from Le Mans. So that would be the number 7, and it is. And he is currently in 7th place.
Trying to go around again.
Up and over the very high curb there in 14 and 15.
So right now our car is very heavy with fuel.
Tamburello once again.
This is 3rd and 4th right in front of us.
Yes, we were correct just a few laps ago. This is 3rd and 4th on the track, the Ferrari and the Corvette, and you can see here that we have caught up to them, so we do have a relatively fast car. Somebody spun out here in turn 12.
Passing under yellow.
That is one of the Hertz Cadillacs, and we are going to stay behind these leader cars here through the yellow. Again, very high sausage curb in through 14 and 15, and you'll want to avoid running over those as much as you can. Raindrops still falling in the puddles on the side of the track. We are looking at the inside of the Corvette. No.
Inside, just not enough.
So right now we do have a fast car. And we had all the damage repaired, so it's actually going very well. You can see here that we've got speed on the 4th place Corvette. Now we are going to get around on the outside. We are not racing for position here. We just unlapped ourselves. And right away we are at the back of the 3rd place Ferrari. Having a look at the inside into 5 and 6, and we make our pass very quickly. He would have been shown the blue flag, but for this Ferrari here, and that is the number 83. So it's very possible that he may have just moved over sideways, and we took advantage of the situation here in number 87 and got around.
Moved up to 7th place. Cadillac. Gone for a spin.
Very wild ride there for the
So
Cadillac.
ugly.
You can see he went over
Just
the
a very
curb
bad corner.
in 15. And a little bit too much acceleration out of 15 for the number 87 as
And we just
well.
lost all that progress.
A very big and dramatic spin.
It's nice to have anti-lock brakes, I guess. But
And through the gravel of 17 and
there's a
18.
trade-off, obviously.
That time was a 2:15.48.
Poor lap, very poor lap.
Having a look at the number 87 back on track, you can see there that the Ferrari and the Corvette, both cars 3 and 4, have passed us once again as a result of our spin. So right now this is the third lap after we came in through the pits for a pit stop and refuel. And the tires are actually still in very good shape here in the rain. So the car should be coming into speed anytime now so that we can run more consistent laps.
That time was a 2:02.16.
5 hours left in the race.
Having a look around, does not look like the rain is slowing down or stopping anytime soon. Still relatively dark on track here, and you can see a lot of water from the tire spray. And right now we have caught back up to the third and fourth place car we once passed. So we are one lap behind. And right there we got to quickly see one of the light boxes giving us a blue flag. We need to get out of the way of this Ferrari and let him pass. He is blocked in right now as we come into 14 and 15. The GT3s have their own race to run, and we are shoulder to shoulder with the Corvette right here. And you can hear a little banging of fenders.
Muscled our way past the Corvette. A lot of traffic there at the chicane.
So we are very lucky to make it out of there without any problems.
Big slide there for the Ferrari.
And we are going to outbrake the Ferrari here into 2 and 3. So we are showing the number 87 in 5th place now. We must be passing cars in the pit lane. And again, because of the heavy rain here, the cars are very staggered in their pit strategies. And after a number of spins here already for the Lexus and a couple of unplanned trips to the pit lane, we are currently in 5th place, so the other cars must be having trouble in the rain as well. Again, that is 14 and 15 riding over the curb. There's one of the Ferrari GT3s in the gravel as we exit out of 18. Quick look back, we don't see them, but there are a few number of cars there.
And we are passing people here in the pits. We are currently in 5th now.
Very hard braking into
The
turn
yellow
2
Corvette
and
the
3
silver
here to the
Ferrari
right.
that we had passed recently, that was 3 and 4. So that is how far behind we are right now, about a lap. Now if they come in and pit, you may be able to get some of that time back, but don't forget that we've pitted a couple of times already.
Letting the number 5 Penske Porsche pass very safely in through turn 10. Up the hill through turn 12 and 13 here, slightly to the left, and we lost traction in the rear wheels.
Still wants to come around. The only way to fight that is to be full on the brakes when it starts doing it. Oh, starting again. So back there is 3 and 4. And we are 5. I'm gonna brake a little bit harder. Because we're just throwing away time. Not braking enough. Steering angle at the exit. Oh, not enough brake. What happened?
So out of turn 11, we just understeer all the way to the left, and we are slightly into the gravel. Again, for a very brief moment. Back on the track through 12 and 13. We are now approaching 14 and 15 here. The cars that we are racing are just about a lap ahead. So we are just trying to put in some consistent laps here, hoping that we may make up some time here with the weather raining as it is. And through Tamburello, the Penske Porsche behind us is going just a little bit wild on the exit. That is the number 6. And we are looking at his placement there on the side of the car. I believe he is 9th at the moment. Understeering again out of turn 11.
Missing the braking zone there.
Yes, that may be exactly what it is, so we're just going to have to brake just a little bit sooner. Again, we are trying to go for good, consistent laps here. With the rain as it is, we are not trying to get the fastest lap. So into turn 11, we're just going to have to brake a little bit sooner. The entrance is just a little bit downhill, and it does sweep to the right.
Moved our brake bias a little bit to the front.
202.14.
The rear brakes are getting harder than the fronts, so they're doing a lot of the work.
So that last lap was a 2:02, a fairly slow lap, but again, we are racing here in the rain. And as slow as 2:02 is, if we do that consistently, we may climb slowly back up to the front here in the number 87 Lexus. This Penske Porsche, the number 4 coming around. We will have the blue flag.
But we do have a little bit better braking power now that we moved the brake bias up.
That great exhaust note that you hear, that is the Alpine. I believe that is the A35, and just announced that Alpine will not be returning to the World Endurance Championship after 2026. So a sad retirement. They had been in the World Endurance Championship for a very long time, even as a LMP2. And you can see the Ferrari having a wild time there. The number 50 currently in 13th place. Trying to get around. There's a car in the middle of the road, and you can see he had to dive into the grass on the left. So very sketchy here for the Ferrari. And it is up to him to find a place to pass. If we just keep our racing line.
That time was a 2:04.18.
A couple of seconds slower on that lap. So as we are lapping around here, we do keep a measure of the lap times just to be able to gauge if we are able to maintain speed or if we're losing time, and so on. And there's actually a lot of information to pick up from the HUD once we are in the cockpit. So very useful information. Here is a Peugeot, and I believe that is a Ferrari behind him. These are the hypercars. Yes, that is the number 51. And it looks like he is in first place. There we are, a couple of very good camera views in through the chicane. That is 16 going to the left.
Wanted to come around, flip the curve on the inside a little too much.
Time was a 2:04.18.
Okay, we are in fourth. Past D5 in the pits. So if we could just put in some steady laps and move our way up. A lap here is not very long. So when it appears that we are a lap down, doesn't take much to make it up.
And you can see there from the cockpit view that we are actually driving through the puddles, sometimes on the left and sometimes on the right. You do feel it in the steering wheel, but again, it does not have much of an effect on the car's drivability. And we have to imagine that those puddles are not very deep. You can see that they do exist, but as this is a professional race course. Deep puddle should not exist, and that's maybe why we don't get much of an effect when we drive through there. So another 2:02 as we cross the start-finish line here in the number 87 Lexus. Again, we are currently in 4th place, so we did move up. We must have passed a car in the pits. And on the standings there on the lower left of your screen, you can see there that the 3rd place car is 11 seconds behind us on the track.
Right now, I don't understand why I keep driving through that right-hander.
A look back at one of the Ferraris coming out of the pits.
A lot of understeer. Tires still in very good shape.
So we don't want to follow too closely to that Cadillac hypercar. They obviously have more grip than us going into the turns. And that is the glorious sound of the V8 from the Lexus. Again, we are lapping fairly well, and good consistent laps. So as long as we keep the car on track, we should be able to finish this stint unscathed as we move up the leaderboard here. Again, we are now up to 4th place after passing a couple of cars in the pits.
Sky looks like it's getting lighter, but it's definitely still raining. Oh,
And there we are, a spin in the number 87. Bumped the wall just a little bit as we were rolling backwards. Again, very
that was a lot of time wasted.
tough to drive through 12 and 13 in the rain here. That is the Mustang GT3 just ahead of us, and you can see there that he is overdriven.
And into the wall very hard.
Wow, very big hit there for the Mustang. A quick look back, and it looks like he's able to get back on the road. But again, the weather conditions still pretty bad here. A lot of water on the track, and the spray has not reduced. Having a look at the timing now on the lower left of your screen, you can see that we are just about 18 seconds behind the 3rd place car. So a number of things could be happening. He could have spun, and we made up a lot of time as we also spun. And I believe that number 3 is the silver Ferrari 296. Lost about a half a second there, coming in through 14 and 15.
Okay, so we have a GT3 just ahead of us. We are going to measure how fast we can catch up to him. He is in 10th place, so he's fairly far back into the field. A little bit off the apron.
So the number 3 Ferrari in the pits.
Nope, he came into the pits.
Time.
And we are now in 3rd place in the number 87 GT3 Lexus. This is turn 2, turn 3 here to the right. Again, if we just continue to drive consistently and keep this car on track without damage, we should be able to make our way up to the front. Timing indicates the 1st and 2nd place cars are just a little over 20 seconds.
That the rest of the field, especially these hypercars, are staying in their lane per se, instead of just ramming you on their way around. Very heavy on the brakes, over the apron. Looks like a Ferrari in the grass. We are currently in third place.
3.47.
That is a 2:03, a little bit behind on that last lap, but only a second or so. So we'll take that. And once again, just 25 seconds behind second place now.
Don't want to spin it. Very wide. So this Mustang is getting the blue flag.
There we are, blue light flashing from the light box on the upper right fence. And again, the light boxes are located very high in the fences, so they are very easy to see. The Mustang comes into the pits. We were not racing with him anyway.
That time was a 2:03.49.
So we may just have unlapped ourselves from second place. Oh, a little too overzealous here coming into 3.
Again, a very aggressive Ferrari coming around.
Didn't get a signal for that Ferrari coming through.
I believe he is in 12th place.
Caddy.
Yes, the Cadillac coming around once again. And that is the Alpine just behind him. Again, very disappointed to note that the Alpine will not be returning after 2026, this upcoming season. So we may be choosing his car or their car for our next race, just to commemorate their participation in the World Endurance Championship in Le Mans. And this is one of the Aston Martins. He's a little bit further back, so we are not racing with him.
This Aston Martin is in 10th place. You should be letting me through.
A tough place to pass between 11 and 12. Made it stick anyway. Really not a lot of track in between the two corners.
That wasn't very nice.
A lot of traffic coming in through 17 and 18 here. A couple of hypercars quickly getting by. That is the number 5 Penske Porsche. Saw the Aston Martin right off into the gravel just momentarily. There is the pit entrance again to the right of the car. The Alpine coming in. So I believe there is a problem there with the way the leaderboard is displaying time. I don't think we are 16 seconds behind second place. We may be 1 lap and 16 seconds.
There are the current conditions.
And again, that sounds like a lot of time, but we have actually made a lot of time here in this stint. Most of our laps have been very good and somewhat consistent.
Very late turn in.
There we are through 11 and 12 once again into the apron on the left.
There's not a lot of time wasted.
And that was the Ferrari hypercar, looking very aggressive as he came into pit lane. Coming into turn 2 and 3. The number 87 Lexus now indicating second place, so I believe third place may have come into the pits. So it is a Lexus 1.2 here at Imola, and we are just about in the second hour, working our way down to the third hour of the 6-hour race. Plenty of action to come. It is raining right now. We do believe the rain will slow down just for a little bit sometime in the middle of the race, and you can see here that there's just a little bit less spray as we come in through 8 and 9 and then 10. Two wheels off of the apron, coming in through turn 19 now.
We are now in second place. Good long stint here. Oh, obviously it didn't break enough. We're trying to figure out what was going on behind the cloud of water just ahead of us.
And that was very far off into the gravel between 2 and 3. Hopefully not too much time
No harm
lost.
done.
Another one of the Ferrari hypercars into the pits, and we are looking for any suspicious behavior here from the other cars on the field. If you remember in the previous series, at the beginning of the 5th stint, a lot of cars spun out all of a sudden, giving us a quick run to the front there in the Peugeot hypercar, and that was the race in Bahrain. Also available here at Driving Immersion. That was an 8-hour race, and very fun to watch. A lot of things happening as well, although it was a dry race and in the night. So yes, we are looking for any suspicious behavior that may indicate that the Le Mans Ultimate software may not be running a proper race per se. Again, any glitches going on, including cars that are stopping into the pits too often or too much. which occurred in our 24 Hours of Le Mans. And you can also see that here on this channel at Driving Immersion, a full 24-hour race, but at the...
There are the standings. The other Lexus is in first place, 2 laps ahead right now. So he must be having a very good race.
Yes, at the early morning in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the cars were coming in to refuel or change out of their tires just about every lap.
0.95.
And that occurred for about 5 laps, so
Good lap.
gives us a very
off.
good lead. Obviously that's a glitch, and it does not happen like that in real life. Hopefully Studio 397 can fish that out and make any necessary repairs in the software, so it shouldn't happen again. Right now, nothing weird going on here at the 6 Hours of Imola. We've run a number of laps here already on our second stint in the Lexus number 87. So we should be ready to come in and refuel and recharge pretty soon.
On this lap, we're getting about 1.6 per lap.
There we are coming in at the end of this lap, as indicated by the pit crew. Again, aside from fuel and tire wear, we do have to worry about virtual energy, and that is going to limit our time on the track. So a very good number of laps here in the second stint. And here we are down pit lane.
Not a bad stint, a little bit of damage in the rear. Think we got rear-ended.
So again, we thank you for watching this race event at Driving Immersion. And remember, for more exciting racing ahead, give us a like and click on subscribe or follow so you don't miss out on the next race event.
And
We'll see you next time.
place.